Coming live from the Tivoli Met Radio studio here on the Auraria campus, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for listening to All Sports through Met Radio on mymetmedia.com, live every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. This is your host, Gerardo, and all I talk is sports. On the show today, I am going to talk about breaking news, Major League Baseball, NFL football, NBA basketball, and NHL hockey. So before I start the show, I hope you all had a great week. I had a great birthday weekend. Even though the Rockies and the Broncos both lost on my birthday, I still had a fun birthday. I had the opportunity to go watch the Rockies play in postseason baseball at Coors Field on my birthday. So to start off, there's a lot of breaking news. So let's begin with the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies season came to an end last Sunday after losing to the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Division Series. Even though the Brewers swept the Rockies pitched decent baseball throughout their postseason run, but what hurt the Rockies from winning postseason games was their bats didn't come alive and they hardly scored any runs in. All of the Rockies' postseason games were winnable games, but if they're not scoring runs, then they can't win games. In the 25th season of Rockies baseball, the Rockies accomplished a lot since it was one of their best seasons in franchise history. They played better baseball, and they made it into the postseason back-to-back seasons under manager Bud Black. This offseason, the Rockies have a lot of big decisions to make since Carlos Gonzalez, Gerardo Parra, DJ LeMahieu, Matt Holliday, Adam Ottavino, Soo-Won Oh, and Drew Petura contracts expire with the Rockies and they become free agents. The two main priorities for the Rockies this offseason is to improve their pitching and try to sign Nolan Arenado to a long-term contract before he would hit free agency next offseason after the 2019 season. The Rockies are going to do what's best for the team this offseason, and they are going to look at all of their options. That includes Ryan McMahon, Garrett Hampson, and other current players on their roster and in Albuquerque. The Rockies want to make their team better for next season, so it's going to depend on what current Rocky players test free agency this offseason. The Rockies may go out and acquire a starting pitcher, infielder, and relievers in the bullpen because the Rockies currently have a great team, but they want to make the team stronger so they can advance further into the postseason and play better baseball towards the end of the season. So even though the Rockies season came to an end in the division series, it was still a great season. I can't wait and see what they do this offseason to make the team better, and hopefully in 2019 the Rockies play better baseball and they can make it all the way to the World Series. So congrats to the Colorado Rockies this year. Have a great offseason, and I can't wait to see you guys next year. Last Monday, the New Orleans Saints went against the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football. Entering Monday's game, Drew Brees needed 201 yards to pass Peyton Manning to become the all-time leader in passing yards among quarterbacks in the NFL. So Drew Brees threw a 62-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Tre'Quan Smith in the second quarter to become the all-time career passing yards leader in the NFL. Drew Brees finished the game with 363 yards, and for his career, Drew Brees has 72,103 career yards and counting. Peyton Manning held the record for having 71,940 career yards, and he congratulates Drew Brees for passing the record and becoming the leader in passing yards after Monday's game. Congratulations to Drew Brees. Good luck to you for the rest of your career, and you're one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. Last Saturday, CU beat Arizona State 28-21. Since CU is 5-0 now, CU is ranked 19 in the college football top 25, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens for the rest of the season. But CU is definitely playing some great football right now. Moving on now to Major League Baseball. The race to the World Series is on for all contending teams. The Houston Astros sweep the Cleveland Indians in the American League Division Series. The Boston Red Sox beat the New York Yankees in 4 games in the American League Division Series. And the Astros will go against the Red Sox in the American League Championship Series. The Milwaukee Brewers sweep the Colorado Rockies in the National League Division Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Atlanta Braves in 4 games in the National League Division Series. And the Brewers will go against the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. The American and National League Championship Series starts at the end of this week, and the 2 series are going to be great matchups that will determine who will represent the American and National League in the World Series. Anything can happen in baseball. Last year it was the Houston Astros against the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. We could have another rematch in this year's World Series. You never know. But depending on what happens, it's definitely going to be a great World Series. The Milwaukee Brewers are playing great baseball right now. They're on a big winning streak. The Boston Red Sox are looking great. The Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers are back in this year's postseason, so it'd be nice to see a rematch, but it would be nice to also see some different teams in the World Series. Moving on now to NFL football. The Denver Broncos lost to the New York Jets 34-16. Case Keenum, Demaryius Thomas, and Courtland Sutton had a great game, but it wasn't enough for the Broncos to win. Multiple reports say John Elway and the Broncos need to fire head coach Vance Joseph. Since Vance Joseph took over last season, the Broncos are 1-9 on the road. The Broncos only won 5 games last season, and right now the Broncos are currently 2-3 this season with Case Keenum as their quarterback. After going 5-11 last season, the Broncos gave Vance Joseph another chance since they didn't have the right quarterback last season. So the Broncos went out in free agency to get Case Keenum to be their quarterback this season, and other positions on the team were improved during free agency and throughout the draft. If the Broncos continue to lose games that they should win this season and the team doesn't pick it up, then expect the Broncos to not wait until the end of the season to fire Vance Joseph, since it may happen in the middle or towards the end of the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars needed more running back depth, and the Jaguars signed Jamal Charles to a 1-year deal this week. Jamal Charles said he has been keeping his options open, and he was waiting for the right opportunity to sign with a contending team that has a potential shot at winning a Super Bowl, since I really want to win a championship. Jamal Charles also said he has a lot left in the tank, and I've got to prove a lot. Jamal Charles spent 9 years with the Kansas City Chiefs and last season with the Denver Broncos. Jamal Charles is the leading rusher in Chiefs history with 7,260 yards, but after he tore his ACL back in October of 2015, Jamal Charles hasn't been the same running back after having multiple knee surgeries in 2016. The NFL fined Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin $25,000 for criticizing the official state of officiating during the Steelers-Falcons game. So moving on now, I'm going to give you the final scores from Week 5 of all the football games. So to start off, the Indianapolis Colts against the New England Patriots. The final score, the Patriots win 38-24. The Tennessee Titans against the Buffalo Bills. The final score, the Bills win 13-12. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final score, the Steelers win 41-17. The Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets. The final score, the Jets win 34-16. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The final score, the Chiefs win 30-14. The Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. The final score, the Lions win 31-23. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns. The final score, the Browns win 12-9. The New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers. The final score, the Panthers win 33-31. The Miami Dolphins versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The final score, the Bengals win 27-17. The Oakland Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The final score, the Chargers win 26-10. The Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. The final score, the Cardinals win 28-18. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The final score, the Vikings win 23-21. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. The final score, the Rams win 33-31. The Dallas Cowboys against the Houston Texans. The final score, the Texans win 19-16. The Washington Redskins against the New Orleans Saints. The final score, the Saints win 43-19. So that's all the final scores from the 5th week of regular season football. The highlights from this week was definitely the New England Patriots won. The Pittsburgh Steelers won. The Jets are looking great with quarterback Sam Darnold, so they beat the Broncos. The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0 with quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They look like they're going to keep winning. Baker Mayfield, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, won his first game in Cleveland. The Arizona Cardinals beat the San Francisco 49ers, so the 49ers are playing different football without quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. The Los Angeles Rams are 5-0. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. They're looking like they're the best team in the NFL as long as they play great football. They have a really great offense and a really great defense, and the Chiefs are looking great. So one of these teams, could they go 16-0? Could both of them go 16-0? We'll have to see when they're going to lose their first game, but both the Rams and the Chiefs look like they're not going to lose anytime soon. They're both really great teams. Drew Brees broke Peyton Manning's all-time career passing yards record on Monday Night Football against the Washington Redskins. So Drew Brees is going to keep climbing the ladder. He's going to get many more yards. He has a lot more football to play, so congrats to Drew Brees. You definitely are a great quarterback. You're one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL as well. Moving on now to the 6th week of regular season football, I'm going to tell you every team and what teams go up against each other. So to start off, the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints are on their bye week. Tonight on Thursday Night Football, we got a big matchup in the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. On Sunday, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Redskins. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Oakland Raiders. The Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Jets. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. The Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. The Chicago Bears versus the Miami Dolphins. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Denver Broncos. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Dallas Cowboys. On Sunday Night Football, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New England Patriots. And to end the week on Monday Night Football, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. So what to watch for this week in football? Definitely the big division game matchups. Are the Los Angeles Rams going to go 6-0 and beat the Denver Broncos? Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to finally lose their first game with quarterback Patrick Mahomes? They have a challenge. They're going up against the New England Patriots. How is Aaron Rodgers going to look for the Green Bay Packers? And can they take down the San Francisco 49ers? Is Jamal Charles going to start for the Jacksonville Jaguars? And how is he going to play? Are the Jaguars going to win? Can the Denver Broncos bounce back this week after losing the last 3 games and games that they should have won? But they definitely got a big challenge this week with the Los Angeles Rams. Can Baker Mayfield win another start for the Cleveland Browns? So that's what to watch for this week in regular season football for the 6th week. So right now we're going to look at the current division standings in the AFC and the NFC. So to start off with the AFC East, the New England Patriots are leading this division at 3 games, but the Miami Dolphins are at 3 games, and the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets are at 2 games. In the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals are leading this division at 4 games. The Baltimore Ravens are at 3 games, and the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers are at 2 games. In the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans are leading this division at 3 games. The Jacksonville Jaguars are at 3 games. And the Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts are under the Titans and Jaguars. In the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs are leading this division. They're 5-0 right now. The Los Angeles Chargers are at 3 games. Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders are behind the Chiefs and the Chargers. In the NFC East, the Washington Redskins are leading this division at 2 games. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles are at 2 games, and the New York Giants are behind the Redskins, Cowboys, and Eagles. In the NFC North, the Chicago Bears are leading this division at 3 games. The Green Bay Packers are at 2 games, and the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions are at 2 games. In the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints are at 4 games. The Carolina Panthers are at 3 games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons are behind the Saints and the Panthers. And in the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams are leading this division. They're 5-0 right now. And the Seattle Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals, and the San Francisco 49ers are behind the Rams. So, looking at these current division standings in both the AFC and the NFC, the Patriots are leading, looking like they may win this division, but they may have some competition. In the AFC East, in the AFC North, it's wide open. The AFC South is wide open. The AFC West could be wide open as well. Right now, the Chiefs are leading this division. In the NFC East, it's wide open. NFC North is pretty much wide open as well. NFC South's looking like the Saints might win this division, but they may have some competition as well. And in the NFC West, it's looking like no one's going to catch the Rams. So I'm predicting that they're going to win this division and not have that much competition. So moving on now to NBA basketball. NBA preseason is underway right now. The Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves situation isn't getting any better. After Jimmy Butler told the Timberwolves he wanted to be traded, Jimmy Butler attended practice on Wednesday, and he was vocal about his displeasure with the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler was verbal, and he was calling out his teammates, coaches, and the front office during practice. Jimmy Butler yelled, "You can't win without me," at general manager Scott Layden. Multiple reports say that a trade between the Timberwolves and the Heat for Jimmy Butler has fallen apart, so anything can happen. Even though Jimmy Butler did report to practice on Wednesday, he could still remain with the Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves have not shut the door on listening to offers for trades to acquire Jimmy Butler. The teams rumored to get Jimmy Butler or that have been showing interest are the Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Brooklyn Nets. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with this Jimmy Butler situation. It's just an ongoing thing right now. Moving on now to NHL hockey. Regular season hockey started last week. Moving on now to end the show. What to watch for this week. The American and National League Championship Series starts at the end of the week. CU's next game is this Saturday at USC. Can CU go 6-0? We're going to have to wait and see. The 6th week of regular season football. The Broncos' next game is against the Los Angeles Rams this Sunday at Mile High Stadium. If you are going out to this game, it's going to be a cold one. It's supposed to snow as well, so dress warm. It shouldn't be a big blowout if the Rams do happen to win. It should be a pretty close game since the weather conditions will be a little bit bad and it will be snowing. So I hope you all have a great weekend. And I want to say thank you to everybody that listens to All Sports through Met Radio here on mymetmedia.com. Until next time, this is Gerardo.